At Enactus QUT, we believe in the power of education. Education breaks down barriers and gives everyone a chance to grow. Education has the power to change the lives of not only students, but their families. And education is the key to unlocking the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Over the years, our projects at Enactus QUT have focused on education here in Australia. Best Foot Forward partnered with the Indigenous Literacy Foundation, and the Unknown Project worked to provide resources for asylum seekers attending school in Australia. Well, this year, we've gone global. Our projects and their founders have taken the skills and the knowledge that they've developed here in Australia and have worked hard to make education more accessible in Lebanon and in Kenya. Our first project, 26 Letters, is a school in Beirut, Lebanon that provides tailored education to 100 Syrian refugees. Our second project, Nice Coffee Co., sells coffee to businesses and individuals in Australia, assigning 100% of their profits to help provide education to students at St. John's School in Kibera Slum, Kenya. I'll now introduce you to Miriam, one of the co-founders of 26 Letters.
Lebanon has the highest number of refugees per capita in the world, with refugees accounting for 40% of school-age children. 5 years after the start of the conflict, more than half of these 500,000 Syrian refugees are not attending a school. In far too many cases, as one Syrian woman once said, our children are growing up without an education. There are many barriers to education for Syrian children in Lebanon. Harsh regulation prevent many of these refugees to obtain a legal residency, which means their chances to get a job are quite low, and push children into work instead of attending to school. Salah was 13 years old when he met Hanira on an exchange. Marked by work, marginalization, and his really harsh environment has pushed him into child labor. Our story begins when Salah asked Hanira for English classes. The start was really basic, improvised English classes. However, more children started turning up, and this ended up with the idea, which is our dream, a school for everyone. While there were many issues we could have solved in Australia, we couldn't just abandon what we started. We had to act, and we did so by staying there and proving that we can generate a greater impact. Today, we have an incredible group of volunteers, students, and collaborators who support us daily. 26 Letter is no longer about teaching English, but also a safe space where everyone is welcome, no matter the background, religion, identity, or orientation. This past year, we've been able to provide quality education to over 100 children, and this is just the beginning. We are changing the course of these children's life. We're giving volunteers the chance of giving back to their community, and we're also changing the rhetoric around what refugees are capable of. Our business model starts with government grant, fundraising, and institutional support. This past year, we've raised over $30,000, and we use it for the school, facilities, for the materials, and any other kind of necessity. We also use a portion of this to mitigate risk by ensuring the sustainability of our school. Our teaching staff are self-funded volunteers completing this as part of a placement of their degree. In the last year, we've had over 50 volunteers contributing over 20,000 hours. We ensure sustainability by having a constant flow of high-quality teachers. In order to do so, we have partnered up with organizations such as ISEC and other universities based in Lebanon. Our program challenges the status quo of education, providing each student high-quality education and just one educator who meets the needs of each children. We also provide medical support, psychological, and vocational, recognizing that without this support, many of our kids could not come to school. In addition to this, we also provide other students with the opportunity of bringing home an income by teaching Arabic to volunteers. This provides their family with a vital income, and it also builds in the self-confidence of our children. While coronavirus has forced us to interact in a different way with our students, Our innovation has allowed us to maintain our impact. Instead of having our students come to the classroom, we have our educators going to their home. Moving forward, we're planning to open the school in September. Looking to the future, what we're planning right now is closing a partnership with Oxford University to allow our children to get a scholarship and study over there. We're also closing a partnership with British University to bring more volunteers during a 6-month period. And finally, we want to close a partnership with the UNHCR to generate a greater impact in the world. 26 Letter Foundation is about trust and family. Family is not always blood. It's also those people who want you in your life, who will do anything to make you smile. And that's what we do here. In our family, no one stands alone.
And now, from Lebanon to Kenya, I'd like to introduce you to Nat, one of the co-founders of Nice Coffee Co.
Kibera slum in Kenya is the size of New York Central Park and is home to over 700,000 people living in extreme poverty. That's 700,000 people living on less than $1 a day. Kids are born into a cycle of poverty that is nearly impossible to escape. Their struggle to meet basic needs like food, clean water, and hygiene means they do not have the energy and time for an education, whether it's because they can't afford to or are just too hungry to stay focused. 2 in 3 kids in Kibera slum cannot go to school. The ones who do make it to school, half drop out after year 8. Through growing up in Papua New Guinea and my co-founder in Kenya, we knew how fortunate we were to receive quality education here in Australia. So we asked ourselves, what if we could use our passion for coffee and business to create and enact change? Less than a year ago, we founded Nice Coffee Co., a way to give kids in extreme poverty access to an education, whilst allowing consumers and the corporate world the ability to make a social impact through their coffee. Coffee is our passion, and it's Australia's passion too. 75% of Australians drink at least 1 cup a day. Our business model is simple. We sell coffee to Aussies and use 100% of our profits to put kids in poverty through school. Over the last financial year, our first year of business, our profits were $15,131. We've provided education for over 400 students. We've lessened the financial burdens on their families, and we've shown them that there are coffee-loving Aussies out there who care. So how do we do this? Well, we select and import quality beans from Kenya and beyond and roast them right here in Queensland. Our beans are then sold through our online store and into offices and organizations right across Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne, along with the machines that help turn our beans into the perfect cup. Finally, 100% of our profits go to our partner, St. John's School, in Kibera slum, where we contribute the profits to the cost of running the school, provide resources for students to be able to attend school, and improve learning. A recent major project was rebuilding the school, as its condition put it at risk of being shut down by the Kenyan government. Since coronavirus, the school community has shrunk from 1,200 to just 400. This represents 800 students who could no longer afford to go to school. Knowing the need to support St. John's was greater than ever. So we pivoted by launching a new premium bean and a home subscription service. Our premium bean, the Nancebo Grade 1, is sold in 1 kilogram bags, where each bag provides 5 bars of soap, 6 kilos of flour, and 7 kilos of legumes to the families of the students who are struggling the most. The home subscription service allows individuals working from home to receive their coffee at their doorstep every month while helping the families of Kibera in these difficult times. What's next? We aim to provide 5,000 kids with access to education by 2025, which will require a little over $160,000. We are on track to achieving this goal by making it easier for you to have nice coffee in your home, office, and local cafe. We also plan to take Nice Coffee global within the next 24 to 36 months to give everyone the opportunity to make an impact through their next cup of coffee. We've got a long way to go, but we're full of passion and we've made a commitment to the kids of St. John's School. So help us in brewing the nicest coffee the world has ever seen.
The power of education is unstoppable. Our projects have worked hard to ensure viable and sustainable impact is made for the communities that we work with. So from Australia to Lebanon to Kenya, join us on our mission to shape the global future of education.